February 17th, 2010. Okay, so I have three things that I think I can bring forward here and tie into some sort of cohesive whole. Let's start with the energies, just sort of a new energies update. The physical body energies, and in fact everything, I'll state that here, for the past week or 2 weeks has been real calm, real mellow. I have been just, sleeping real good during the night and during the daytime, wanting to get outside and do things, and just everything has changed up a bit. I'll get into that in just a moment. So the only energies that I'm really feeling physically in my body this week, there is a new one that extends from the bottom of my right foot all the way up the inseam of my right leg and toward the right inner groin. And it's just an upward rise of energy through this leg that at the groin at the top feels sort of like just a jackhammer going. It's a fun one. Don't know what that's all about, but I know that there's a lot of release work that I'm doing in the hips and hip crease area, so I'm sure this is more of the same. I am also feeling strong energy balls, approximately yay big, underneath the pads of both of my feet. It's absolutely divine. The sensation of the contact of the bottoms of my feet with the ground create a lightness all the way up to about my mid-thighs, but it's most strongly felt in my feet, ankles, and shins, which just feel like they're so light they're almost not there, except for there's just this real pleasant energy being felt there. These energy balls can get very powerful and extend powerful upward rising energy through my whole body. Just like a fountain. But other than that, everything has really been switched up. Again, I'm sleeping all the way through the night. I'm remembering my dreams, but not a lot of lucid dream activity, no OBE activity, no phasing, no soul traveling. Not really even having the practice sessions where I have to lay down in the middle of the afternoon. My days have really lit up. I really want to be outside. I really want to be out in the sun. My diet's changing again, more toward liquid meals and raw, or all organic always, but more toward the raw at the moment, as the more summer-like weather is coming in here in Southern California. Now, I have asked Naru what's going on here. Just it seemed like there wasn't the contact there was getting to be in the weeks previous to this, and he sent me just a simple sentence: "We're on a new frequency." Rather than go into a lot of detail about that right now, I will just say that I feel the new frequency that we're on was a shift in frequency from, well, I'll say a shift from the frequency of the work we were doing in the night into work that we're now doing during the day. Whereas the majority of my experiences in the past were happening in the night, I believe that we have now made the shift into them being possible during the day, during my eyes open, wide awake reality. Last week I had mentioned the experience experience I had while still awake of profoundly realizing that I'm dreaming. And it's so fun. It's like I'll be sitting here in my room and that realization washes over me. And this morning, for instance, I was just walking out the front door to get the newspaper for Mrs. C, and it feels like everything around me is about to open up, and that I could step into a whole nother scene if I wanted to. And I can feel myself not opening to that fully. And when I did that this morning, when it seemed like that was about to happen and I could feel myself close down on it a little, Naru says, you have to focus more strongly. And so I know that's really the only next step for me, to begin having my experiences, again, eyes wide open, broad daylight, just like in the dreams at night, where you can literally walk from one scene into a whole nother scene, into a whole nother dimension. I feel that I am very close to being able to do this during the day. There was this odd experience with time that I was having right before my consciousness broke in on the Ascension, broke in on what was happening. It happened two times almost in a row. And I wrote a friend of mine and sort of asked him about it, and there wasn't a lot of feedback at that time, but I'm getting now what this was about. What happened was I laid down to go to bed at about 10 o'clock at night, if I'm remembering rightly, something like this. And I closed my eyes for what seemed to me was a minute maximum. And I opened my eyes and it was the next morning. The whole night had gone by in literally what seemed like a minute to me. Now, things like this have happened before, with time speeding up or slowing down in my meditations, but not this dramatically, not that much time having gone by in such a short period. This was really rather dramatic. And it happened a couple times, again, if I remember rightly, in the course of about a week. And the entire time since I started my waking up process, which was about this time last year, I've been having that continues to be a theme in what I'm experiencing. And it's coming to the front of my mind now. So what I'm starting to get now is that I can be both inside of time and outside of time simultaneously. And that in fact I am inside of time and outside of time simultaneously when I consider myself as a cohesive whole. There are dimensions to my consciousness that do exist outside of time. And it feels to me like what Naru is helping me work with now is accessing those aspects, those dimensions of my consciousness that are outside of time, so that I have absolute freedom here inside time, here inside the third dimension, to literally be unlimited in my experience.